Let's go, let's go, let's go. We are on. What's happening, bulls? Just clocking in, double checking the audio. Check, 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 check. Got the Elvis hair. Check, check. Got some, got a big stream. Big. Let's go. Where is it? We've got to be live. We must be live. I reckon we're live. The confidence in the equipment is poor. Subpar minimum. Just waiting. Just waiting. Check, 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 check. Where is it? Yep, we're on. Audio's good. Sweet. So what we're going to do now, what we usually do is we go through the charts first, then we go through the news. I'm going to flip it up. We're going to go through the news first. We're going to start going through the news first. So people that want to be here see the news. So releases ad and then removes it due to pressure. Wokest leftist pressure. But the main story today isn't about Solana. It's about all of these altcoins about to have a massive move. We're getting to the bottom of which direction that is, but I'm telling you right now, these altcoins, they're either about to have another fucking 30% taken off them, or they're about to run 100%. So we'll get to the bottom of that towards the end. But we'll start by watching this ad. I haven't watched it yet, so I've made a thumbnail. We've made a video about a Solana, an ad dropped by Solana, and we'll make our own mind up. All right, so where are we? Let's bring it to attention. Okay, here we go.
So America, what's going on?
Well, lately, I've been having thoughts again.
What thoughts?
About innovation. You know, multi-planetary travel, nuclear energy, crypto, AI. You know, things that push the limits of human potential.
What you're experiencing is called rational thinking syndrome. Why don't we take this energy and channel it into something more productive, like coming up with a new gender?
But that's not gonna stop me thinking about innovating and doing something.
Innovating, doing, these are action words, verbs. Why don't we focus on pronouns?
That's not gonna help.
I sense some cynicism. Have you been betrayed in the past?
You know, I used to think the media was my friend. Can I even trust them anymore?
Of course.
Of course they'd say that. That's a biased take. I got canceled for saying 2 + 2 is 4.
Have you ever considered that math is a spectrum?
What?
America, numbers are non-binary. We've been conditioned to believe that 2 + 2 is 4. It's a societal construct.
It's literally math.
Or is it a dominant narrative? Have you been practicing the state-prescribed regulations we talked about?
Yeah, I've debanked some crypto founders and I've slowed down nuclear reactor approvals, and depending on my state of mind, I change the SEC guidelines, but I don't like it.
If we don't regulate, how will we create jobs for people who work hard to make businesses slow?
You know what? Hard work, innovation, rational thinking, it's in my blood. It's who I am. Railroads, factories, automobiles. I built the future once, and I won't be left behind now. I will lead the world in permissionless tech, build on-chain, and reclaim my place as the beacon of innovation. I want to invent technologies, not genders.
Lovely. So glad you were able to get some of that negative emotion out. Sounds like we'll need a few more sessions. When can I see you next?
You're fired.
Well, the Trump administration and the White House were consulted by the Israelis on their attacks in Gaza tonight. And as President Trump has made it clear, Hamas, the Houthis, Iran, all those who seek to terrorize not just Israel, but also the United States of America will see a price to pay. All hell will break loose. And all of the terrorists in the Middle East, again, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, Iranian-backed terror proxies, and Iran themselves should take President Trump very seriously when he says he is not afraid to stand for law-abiding people. He is not afraid to stand up for the United States of America and our friend and our ally Israel.
Okay, so I've just had my speaker muted again, my microphone muted again. Wow, great. How good's that? What else I wanted to show you, here you go. This is the video I was talking about.
One of the things you told me about is what you call magic money computers at the Treasury. So tell us about it, because I never heard of that until you brought that up.
Okay, so you may think that that the government computers like all talk to each other, they synchronize, they add up what funds are going somewhere, and it's it's coherent. That there's and that the numbers, for example, that you're presented as a senator, are actually the real numbers.
One would think.
One would think. They're not.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're not totally wrong, but they're probably off by 5% or 10% in some cases. So I call a magic money computer any computer which can just make money out of thin air. That's magic money.
So how does that work?
It just issues payments.
And you said there's something like 11 of these computers at Treasury that are sending out trillions in payments?
They're mostly at Treasury. Some are, but there's some at HHS, some there's one or two at State, there's some at DOD. I think we found now 14 magic money computers.
14, okay.
They just send money out of nothing.
One of the things you told me about is...
It's crazy.
Why would you want anything other than crypto or Bitcoin when they just make money out of thin air? Why would you want this shit? And here's something for the for those interested in this.
We are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this, and I've instructed my people that are responsible, lots of different people, put together by Tulsi Gabbard, and that's going to be released tomorrow.
That will be sick. If you look at Polymarket, let's have a look at Polymarket, in fact. If you look at Polymarket, the odds of there being any, I was going to say bedwetting, Polymarket. Here we go. It'll be all over, I'm sure. Yep. Trump declassifies JFK files in first 100 days. That's a 97% chance now. Let's have a little look. JFK. Was JFK assassination an inside job? Yes, 3%. It's highly unlikely. Was JFK assassinated by a foreign government? Yes, 2 cents. Highly unlikely, according to Polymarket. So if you think that it happened, if you think it is legit, I encourage you, jump on Polymarket, make a potential 50x gain. Yeah, big opportunities there if you're interested in that. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he's not worried as stock markets plunge. Okay, we're just going to skip through this a little bit together.
And joining me now is Treasury Secretary
Very
Scott
important
Bessent.
stuff.
Secretary Bessent, welcome to Meet the Press.
Kristen, good to see you.
It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for being here in person. Let's start off by talking about the big picture on the economy. A majority of Americans say they disapprove of President Trump's handling of the economy. Consumer sentiment plunged this week to a 29-month low. J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs slashed growth expectations. Why are all of those folks wrong and President Trump is right about his tariff policy?
Well, Chris, and thanks for having me here. And look, what I am not going to say that went on for a long time under the Biden administration and for a lot of the media, and I'm not going to point fingers, but they used to say it was a vibe session and the American people don't know what they talk about. And Donald Trump, his administration, myself, all believe that the American people know what they're feeling, and that we believe that our policies will change that. Clearly, they are traumatized from what's happened with this affordability crisis that was brought on by the previous administration. They want relief. We've been in for 8 weeks. We are putting the policies in place that will make the affordability crisis go down, inflation moderate, and that as we set the sails, I am confident that the American people will come our way, even if some of the media narrative doesn't.
Well, and just to be clear, I mean, these are polls that are taken 2 months into President Trump's presidency. But let's talk about what happened in the stock market this week. Worst week for the market in 2 years. Does that worry you, Mr. Secretary?
Not at all. I've been in the investment business for 35 years, and I can tell you that corrections are healthy, they're normal. What's not healthy is straight up, that you get these euphoric markets. That's how you get a financial crisis. It would have been much healthier if someone had put the brakes on in 06, 07. We wouldn't have had the problems in 08. So I'm not worried about the markets. Over the long term, if we put good tax policy in place, deregulation, and energy security, the markets will do great.
I hear you say you're not worried about the markets, but nearly 60% of Americans are invested in the markets. That's their retirement savings. What do you say to Americans who have real concerns that their retirement savings may be in jeopardy?
I say that one week
This bitch
does
pushing
not
the FUD.
the market make. As Warren Buffett says, over the short term, the market is a voting machine. Over the long term, it's a weighing machine. And again, Kristen, it would have been very easy for us to come in, run these reckless policies that have been happening before. We've got these large government deficits, 6.7% of GDP. We've never seen this. When we're not in wartime, not in recession, we are bringing those down in a responsible way. We are going to have a transition, and we are not going to have a crisis.
Let me play you what some business leaders all around the country have had to say in response to President Trump's tariffs. Take a look.
It would be difficult for U.S. farmers to
not listening to the opinion of a soybean farmer and FUD pushed on us, but that guy looks like the real deal. I actually don't mind the look of that fella. All right, here we go. Bitcoin. We're getting the charts now. We've got a lot coming, a lot going on. So crank the beats. Let's do it. Bitcoin price. So Bitcoin chart, 1 candle equals 1 day. It's starting to roll over now. Look at this. Let's move these production lines. Starting to get heavy, bit of a hunchback. Just following the lines that we've talked about. So parabola, trend, rolling down. As it gets older, it starts getting steeper. As you can see, it's starting to respect. Like we drew this channel back maybe here on last Wednesday or something. So now you can see that the price is starting to respect the channel. It's starting to roll down with the channel because the parabola is becoming steeper. And Bitcoin wants to test for either new, equal, or higher lows. The lows, the attack on the next low is coming. So, and then obviously, like we've been saying, the caveat is that at any moment in time, Bitcoin could just completely green candle up and everyone just gets massive FOMO and says, oh my God, Bitcoin's just been so good this whole time. What was I thinking? Why did I sell it quickly? You've got to rush back, get back in. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The interesting thing is when Bitcoin's starting to look a little bit heavy like this, what the altcoins are going to do. So we'll rush through, get to the altcoins, but these altcoins are starting to blue bar, gigabar. Look at this. This is just a typical step. This is a step. See how the price is just complete. Oh, here we go. I'm going to move my head for the Oh, fuck me, these fucking microphones. Oh, sorry about that. Just does my fucking head in. Well, we'll skip to it. Dogecoin looks like it's about to roll over. Look at this. Look at the channels. Channel, rolling over. Look at that. XRP, let's have a look at XRP. Same again, as long as XRP is in this range, the XRP army can just sleep happily. It's literally just going to continue bouncing around there. Very important, just sits in that. Let's have a look at the stock market, gapping up, pumping higher than people can keep up with. The American stock market. Look at the power behind that. Look at the thruster. This is a leading indicator typically, man, and it's when has it been dumping since 20th of February? You know what? That's actually it's actually been quite a while. Let's go to the daily chart. S&P 500. So how many days has this been dropping for American stock market? S&P 500 has been dropping for 27 days. It was dropping for 22 days, and it's had 3 green candles. This is typically either a lagging or a leading indicator for crypto, and if this continues green barring, when it does do these big green bars like this, it typically comes with friends. You can see what the friends look like. They come in gangs, little posses. Even if it is a high or low, a lower high that gets to maybe this, something like that. Hits this resistance, this rooftop resistance right here. Look at that. So if the American stock market is pumping and Bitcoin is just sitting, treading water like this, looking very heavy, very ugly, it's just a matter of time. If the stock market will drag it up, is what I'm saying. The stock market will drag it the fuck up, skull drag it by its ear. Like, get up here, fool. If the stock market continues recovering, DXY still downtrending, which is good. That's what we want to see. What we want to, at least we've got one box ticked. Continues. Gold smashing through. So we've been saying for weeks, following this price action, we said, the bounce, the retest, the burst, the attack for 3K, and the attack for 3K is relentlessly still on. It is broken through the 3K mark, hanging above there, and then we're just gonna have to wait and see what this week holds. But so far, so good. You can see there's a small range here. So if we zoomed into the gold on the hour chart, you'll see a lot of sideways price action. Yep, so that's this. Excuse me, just fuck this off while we can. You can see all this sideways price action, so this range here. All right, so as long as gold doesn't come back down into this box, as long as gold does not come back down into this box, I'm wrong, and it will continue higher. Once it comes back down into this box, though, it's just like it'll start getting dragged underwater. Okay, so bullish until back into this range, because it will have to go into this range first. You'll have to fight the range before it can come down to lower prices. But 3K, it's clearly wiping a lot of people out. All right, here's the interesting stuff. We've got these altcoins. Here's one altcoin. We're getting all these blue bars. We're getting blue bars on. Look at all these alerts. These alerts going off. All these altcoins are about to have a massive move. Unfortunately, a lot of these altcoins are shit, like sort of forgotten ones. There is some good ones in here, Sui. Whatever else you think might be good in here. A lot of old coins, a lot of shit old coins, but they're all getting ready for a massive move. One thing I can say though, when trying to decide the direction, even though the trend is so down and so far down, last gigabar we got was just the start of further down, another move. Move started there, finished there. One thing I can say is if you flick over to the funding rate for this coin, so this is Zen, just picked a random coin, went over and had a look at the funding rate. You can see how red that is. Funding rate is ridiculously red. That means the shorts are far more aggressive than the longs. So what that means is if you were to short here, you're fighting with everybody else to get a short here. Okay, you're like you're with the crew. You're just part of the. You're just a number. All the boys are trying to short here. Everybody is trying to be short these coins here. So you are the majority if you are short these altcoins right now. Let's just have another look at another one. Let's have a look. I said Sui before. Let's have a look at Sui. Let's see, where did I see Sui? Here you go, blue bar on Sui. These are all my volume indicators that help me decide a direction. A few mixed reviews, a few things calling for longs here. Strangely, it's hard for me to see that because obviously the trend is so bearish, so down. But if we flick over to Sui and have a look at the funding rate, I just want to see all around. Yeah, red again. I mean, here's a prime example of not always being the right side of the bet to be against the majority. So the majority here was short, and look what happened. Big dump. But overall, in saying that, overall, the majority is long. Majority short here, little pump. Majority short here, little pump. Yeah. It's majority short here. So, yep. Sometimes the funding rate gives great signals. Sometimes the funding rate does not. Especially it's a lot of it's coin dependent as well. But look at all these coins. They're all reading very similar chart. Very, very long downtrend. 90 to 100 day downtrends on nearly all of these. Look from the top. Look at this. Top to now, 93.5 days of downtrend. It's a long downtrend with barely any relief. Little to no relief. You can more or less draw a channel. See, this one's starting to break out of it. Data. So this is doing the opposite. Usually these, like we've talked about, a lot of time these trends will go and then they'll increase and then finish, like we talked. But this one has finished early. It's starting to create a new channel. See that? It's starting to create a new channel. This is actually one of the more bullish ones, bullish charts that I've seen. It's actually putting a decent. Let's have a look. Data. It's trying to put in a bottom, having a real go. Yeah, it's just one of those bug filth ones. I hate these ones. Little to no information. Majority slightly long. Open interest. Trend. No. Little to no data on data. This one's trying to pull itself out of the. This might be one to put on the watch list to get a lot of green here. See all this green? Volume indicators starting to say that the buy side pressure is a lot better than the sell side pressure. Let's have a look at bonk. Ooh. Oh man. We could be looking at bottom. Look at that. Wow. Got the bull traps and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure you could identify a bull trap from now. See something channeling, breaks up. A lot of the time these bull traps will grind along. See how it just grinds, it slides. It's like pops up, slides. It's like a skateboard. Pops up, grinds it, comes back down to the channel. Big bull trap. Tell by the large wicks. Back into the channel, grinds along. Now here we are. Oof, man, this is it's getting to the pointy end of the trend here for sure. I'm just wondering if we could get a little. This is a very interesting. This is a very interesting time for altcoins. Very, very interesting. Ooh. Look at these. Okay. I'm starting to get a little bit bottom timey here, people. I'm starting to get a little bit bottom timey here. This is a fucking diverging wedge. I bet you there's bullish divergence on it. Let's add the Giga RSI. Here we go. Getting some bullish divergence. Yes, we are. Ooh. Ooh. 2 counts of it too. Wow. Man. Ooh. I'm starting to turn bullish on these shitcoins. Holy. Okay. We have to think about this a lot. This is a make or break because, listen, I mean, obviously if it bottoms here, even if it just comes up to take out some highs, you got big 70% gainers and stuff. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna take this to the Blockchain Bulls Discord. We're gonna have to do a lot of deep thought, a lot of thinking here. Wow, look at these charts. Wow. Oh my God. Look at this. What goes through your head here? Further down? I'd love to get some opinions. Like, subscribe if you can. I've got a couple of shorts on. I'm short DEXE a little bit. I'm short XLM. I'm short Prom. I'll put a post up in the Discord. Here you go. You can see on our trading competition. Let's have a look. There you go. Prom. I'm up 21% on Prom. I had this crazy long the other day. 232% gainer on Bake. I put in the trade competition. See, the trade post was here. Type long, Bake, enter. This is a trade. Buy signal. Got it going. So, man, I would. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to go and cook up my thoughts, not food, because these are very, very. These are very serious signals. Holy shit. Take it easy. Thanks for watching. If you've watched, like, subscribe if you don't mind. Altcoins are about to jet, whether it's up or down. I'm just telling you right now. If you've got shit coins and you've been sad about how down bad they are, prepare yourself for potentially further down. But also, now is the time to try with a couple of little risky longs, because the return side could be so big that it'll blow your fucking socks off. Take it easy.